All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever dropped a penny on the ground and just kept walking? Maybe you figured, eh, it's just a penny, not worth bending over for. Well, what if I told you that a certain 1988 Lincoln penny, one with an mint mark, is now worth a jaw-dropping $2.6 million? That's right, a single cent that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, and a lifetime supply of cheeseburgers. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, that can't be real. But it is, and today we're diving deep into what makes this tiny copper coin so insanely valuable. I'll break down exactly why this 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is worth millions, how to spot one, and the best ways to cash in if you find one. And trust me, after this, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. Before we jump into the details, let me tell you how I first got hooked on coin hunting. A few years back, I was at my buddy Joe's house. We were just hanging out, watching a football game, and he casually mentioned that he started checking his pocket change for rare coins. I laughed and told him, man, I barely even notice my change before I dump it in a jar. An old wheat penny worth over $50. $50 for a penny. That got my attention real fast. So I went home, dumped out my change jar, and spent the next 2 hours Googling coin values. And let me tell you, once you realize there are coins worth thousands, even millions, hiding in plain sight, it's like a switch flips in your brain. You start seeing every penny as a potential gold mine. And that, my friends, is how my obsession with valuable coins began. Now, let's get into why this 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a game changer. What makes the 1988 no-mint mark penny worth millions? So, what's the big deal with this particular penny? Let's break it down. Normally, pennies from 1988 have a little letter under the date, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and nothing for Philadelphia. But in this case, something went seriously wrong. Some 1988 pennies were struck without a mint mark, but with a die intended for a San Francisco proof coin. This wasn't supposed to happen, and that's what makes it rare. If you look closely at the 1988 no-mint mark penny, the lettering style on the obverse front isn't what it should be. The mint accidentally used the 1989 design a year early, which makes this coin a freak of nature in the numismatic world. This isn't like the 1943 copper penny, where collectors have been hunting for decades. The 1988 no-mint mark error wasn't widely recognized until recent years, meaning there could be more out there waiting to be discovered. The highest graded version of this penny, in pristine condition, recently sold for $2.6 million. That's because collectors go absolutely nuts over rare errors, especially when they're unexpected. All right, so how do you check if you've got one of these bad boys sitting in a jar or hiding in your couch cushions? A regular 1988 penny should have either a D or an S. If yours has no mint mark at all, you might be onto something. Check the lettering on Liberty, and in God we trust. If the font looks slightly different compared to other 1988 pennies, that's a major clue. Seriously, grab one. The details are tiny, and the naked eye might miss them. If something seems off, you might be sitting on a small fortune. If you think you found one, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify if it's the real deal and assign it a grade, which can massively impact the value. Let's say you hit the jackpot and find this rare penny. I repeat, do not clean it. Even if it looks dirty, scrubbing it will destroy its value. Professional grading is the only way to get serious money for your coin. Major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers specialize in high-value coins and can get you top dollar. eBay and other coin-selling platforms can be good options, but be careful of scams. If you're in a hurry, a certified coin dealer might make you an offer on the spot. That a single penny could literally change your life. That checking your spare change isn't just for fun. It's a legitimate strategy that could lead to a multi-million-dollar payday. Now, imagine this. You go through your old pennies, find an odd-looking 1988 one, and it turns out to be the legendary no-mint mark error. You send it in for grading, and BM, you're holding a $2.6 million coin. What would you do with that money? New house? Exotic vacation? Maybe just buy every single item in the dollar menu for the rest of your life. Either way, the key is to start looking. Because someone's going to find the next big coin. And it might as well be you. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I've got tons more tips on valuable coins, hidden treasures, and smart collecting strategies. Who knows? The next video might just help you discover another million-dollar coin. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, looking for a quarter for the vending machine, and BM, you spot a penny. Not just any penny, but one that could be worth a staggering $2.7 million. That's right, a single 1979 D. Lincoln penny has sold for that insane amount. And today, I'm going to tell you why, how to check if you have one, and what makes it so special. Now, before you dump your entire change jar onto the table, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a garage sale when I overheard two older guys talking about rare coins. One of them said, "Man, I heard someone found a penny worth millions." I chuckled, thinking, yeah, right? But now, here we are. Turns out, they weren't kidding. So grab your magnifying glass, because we're about to dive deep into the mystery of the 1979 D. Lincoln penny worth more than a Lamborghini, a house, and your entire grocery bill for the next 50 years combined. Okay, so first things first. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny is normally just a copper-plated zinc coin that's worth, well, a penny. But every now and then, something wild happens at the U.S. Mint. Mistakes, errors, happy little accidents that make collectors go nuts. The reason this particular penny is worth $2.7 million? It's believed to be a rare mint error, a mix-up at the Denver Mint where the coin was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the usual zinc. Now, this might sound like a tiny detail, but trust me, coin collectors love tiny details. Think of it like baseball cards. A regular one might be worth a few cents, but if there's a printing error, boom, it's suddenly worth thousands. Same thing here. A bronze 1979 D penny shouldn't exist, but it does. And that's why people are willing to pay insane money for it. Now, here's where things get fun. If you're hoping to cash in on $1 million penny, here's what you need to do. You're looking for a 1979 penny with a little D below the date. That's your starting point. If there's no D, sorry, but you're out of the race. Regular 1979 pennies are zinc with a thin copper coating, so they have a reddish look. But a bronze planchet coin will have a deeper, darker, almost old-timey appearance. This is the big one. A normal 1979 D penny should weigh 2.5 grams, but the rare bronze version? 3.1 grams. If your penny is tipping the scale at 3.1, you might want to call an expert, like, immediately. Okay, this is an old-school trick. Drop a regular penny on a hard surface and listen to the sound. It makes a dull clink. But a bronze penny? It has a slightly higher-pitched, almost musical ring to it. If you've got a penny that checks all these boxes, don't just toss it back in your coin jar. Get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. If they confirm it's the real deal, you might just be sitting on a multi-million-dollar payday. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but who actually pays this kind of money for a penny? Great question. In a recent auction, a wealthy collector, probably someone who already owns 10 Ferraris, snatched up this 1979 D. Lincoln penny for a mind-blowing $2.7 million. Because rare coins are like fine art. Some people collect paintings, others collect classic cars, and then you have the folks who go nuts over misprinted pennies. And hey, if I had a couple $1,000,000 lying around, I'd probably be bidding too. More of these pennies could still be out there. This wasn't some one-off magic trick. If one escaped the mint, there's a good chance others did too. So, if you're one of those people who ignores pennies on the sidewalk, you might want to reconsider. Alright, so let's recap. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny worth $2.7 million is a rare bronze planchet error. It's heavier, darker, and has a different sound than a regular penny. If you think you've got one, get it weighed, graded, and then maybe start planning your dream vacation. Now, I've got a challenge for you. Go grab that jar of loose change, start checking your pennies, and let me know in the comments if you find anything unusual. Who knows? You might just have a multi-million-dollar coin sitting in your house right now. And if you love learning about coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post new videos all the time, breaking down coin collecting strategies and uncovering the next big jackpot hiding in your spare change. Alright, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your loose change, looking for a quarter to feed the parking meter, when BM, you stumble upon a penny. Just a regular penny, or so you think. But what if I told you that penny could be worth a life-changing $2.8 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about the 1964 D. Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and valuable that it's got collectors foaming at the mouth. If you've ever doubted that pocket change could make you rich, buckle up because this story is about to blow your mind. And stick around because I'll share a personal experience about a time I almost threw away a valuable coin. Let's just say it still haunts me to this day. So, what makes this particular penny so special? First, let's break it down. It was made in 1964, a year that saw tons of Lincoln pennies produced, billions. In fact, it's supposed to be just your regular copper penny, right? Well, not exactly. See, there's something fishy about this particular coin. It was accidentally struck on a rare composition, possibly a leftover planchet from a previous era. That's coin talk for someone at the mint goofed big time. It turned a 1-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar jackpot. Now, before you start dumping your piggy bank all over the floor, let's talk about how to identify this bad boy. Check the weight. A normal 1964 D penny should weigh 3.11 grams. But the rare one is a little different. Look at the color. A unique composition means it might have a slightly different sheen compared to regular copper pennies. Wrong planchets sometimes have weak edges or incomplete lettering. Get it tested. If you think you've got a winner, take it to a professional coin grader. Now, here's where it gets wild. A 1964 D Lincoln penny with this rare error was sold at auction for a staggering $2.8 million. That's more than some luxury homes. Because coin collectors are a dedicated and slightly obsessed bunch. When something this rare surfaces, it creates a bidding war. And when collectors battle it out, prices shoot through the roof. So, while most 1964 D pennies are just worth a cent, this one broke records. Okay. Let me tell you about the time I nearly made the biggest mistake of my life. A few years ago, I was sorting through a jar of old coins. I had this crusty, ugly penny that looked like it had been through a war. I figured, meh, it's just a penny, and tossed it into the spend pile. But just before I took that pile to the bank, something told me to double check. And guess what? That ugly little penny was a double die error worth over $500. I came this close to literally spending a valuable coin on gum and gas station coffee. So, there you have it. A 1964 D Lincoln penny could be worth millions, and you might have one sitting in your change jar right now. Now, if you're thinking, man, I need to start checking my coins, you're absolutely right. And that's why you should subscribe to this channel. I cover all kinds of valuable coins, collecting strategies, and tips on turning pocket change into serious cash. So hit that subscribe button, tap the like button if you found this interesting, and drop a comment below. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? All right, picture this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change, maybe for a cup of coffee, maybe just because you like knowing where your money disappears. In BM, you find a penny. No big deal, right? But what if I told you that one little penny from 2006, with a tiny D mint mark, could be worth a life-changing $2.90 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single, regular-looking penny could be worth more than a Lamborghini, a beachfront house, and a lifetime supply of donuts. Okay, maybe not that last one, but you get the point. This isn't just any penny. It's a rare, error-filled treasure that collectors are going nuts over. So how do you know if you have one? What makes it so valuable? And most importantly, are you sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it? Stick around, because today we're breaking down the 2006 D Lincoln penny that turned pocket change into a millionaire's dream. Now, before you start raiding your piggy bank, let's talk about what makes this coin so special. The 2006 D penny was minted in Denver, like millions of others. But here's the kicker, this one has a very specific error that makes it a collector's holy grail. Some of these pennies were struck on the wrong planchet. Instead of the usual copper-plated zinc, a handful were accidentally made with an older, 95% copper planchet left over from the pre-1982 days. That means these pennies are heavier, have a different ring to them when dropped, and look slightly different under close inspection. Now, mistakes happen all the time in the minting world, but here's why this one is a big deal. The US Mint had already switched to a cheaper metal composition, so finding a 2006 penny made of nearly pure copper is like finding a dinosaur still walking around today. It just shouldn't exist. Okay, let's get down to business. How do you check if your 2006 D penny is the jackpot? A regular 2006 D penny weighs about 2.5 grams. But this rare air penny? It weighs around 3.11 grams because of the higher copper content. You'll need a jeweler's scale or a very precise kitchen scale to check this. Drop a normal penny on a hard surface. It has a dull thud sound. But a copper one? It rings with a higher pitch, almost like a tiny bell. If your penny sounds different, you might be onto something. This one's just for fun. Pennies aren't magnetic, so if it sticks to a magnet, It's either fake or your fridge is playing tricks on you. If your penny passes these tests, don't go quitting your job just yet. You'll need a professional coin grader, like PCGS or NGC, to authenticate it. They'll confirm if it's the real deal, and if it is, you just hit the jackpot. This error is incredibly rare, with only a few confirmed to exist. That's why collectors are willing to shell out millions to get their hands on one. The most expensive one sold recently at auction for a whopping $2.9 million, and experts believe that price could go even higher as more collectors fight over these rare finds. Now, let me tell you a quick personal story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, browsing through an old coin dealer's junk bin. You know, the kind where you pay $1 for a handful of random coins? Well, I pulled out a 1983 penny that looked a little off. It felt heavier, sounded different, and just seemed weird. I took it home, did some research, and realized it might be a rare copper planchet error. Long story short, I sent it off for grading, and it turned out to be worth over $15,000. Not quite $2.9 million, but hey, I wasn't complaining. Moral of the story? Always check your change. So, let's say you find one of these unicorn pennies. Where do you sell it? Heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, and great collections are the top choices for high-end coin sales. If you know what you're doing, eBay can be a gold mine. Just be prepared for fees and some tire-kicking buyers. These are great places to network with serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. Not the best option for high-value sales, but they might point you in the right direction. All right, let's wrap this up. Somewhere out there, sitting in a jar, a wallet, or even a parking lot, is a 2006 D penny worth $2.9 million. And it might just be in your pocket right now. So, here's what I want you to do. Go grab your change jar, check your wallet, and start looking. We've seen rare pennies pop up in the strangest places, and who knows, you might be the next lucky collector to cash in big. And hey, if you enjoyed this and want more insider tips on coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. Now go check your pennies, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to buy. I don't know, a cup of gas station coffee. You pull out an old penny, shrug, and toss it on the counter. But what if, just what if, that penny was worth over $3 million? Yeah, you heard that right. There's a 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln penny floating around out there worth a jaw-dropping $3.1 million. And the craziest part? You might have one sitting in a jar at home right now. Today, we're diving deep into this legendary penny. What makes it so valuable? How do you spot one? And most importantly, could you be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just find yourself flipping over every penny you come across. Now, let's talk about this million-dollar miracle coin. What makes a simple 1965 penny so special? First off, if you check your pocket change, most 1965 pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. Nothing exciting there. But there's something different about this rare version, and it all comes down to a crazy minting mistake. The story behind the 1965 no-mint mark penny back in the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint was an absolute chaos. Silver prices were skyrocketing, and people were hoarding coins left and right. The government, in an attempt to stop coin hoarding, removed mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967. This means that all pennies from that time, whether made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, had no mint mark. So, what's the deal with this special penny? Well, the U.S. Mint was also phasing out silver dimes and quarters, and in the middle of all this transition, a mistake happened. A 1965 Lincoln penny was struck on a silver planchet, a metal blank meant for a dime. Now, let's pause for a second. That's like going to McDonald's, ordering a cheeseburger, and they accidentally hand you a full steak dinner with a side of caviar. Someone, somewhere, got way more than they bargained for. Now, here's where it gets fun. What if I told you that you could find one of these pennies right now just by checking your spare change? Here's how to tell if you have the legendary 1965 no-mint mark silver penny. Regular 1965 pennies are made of copper and zinc and weigh 3.11 grams. But this rare error was struck on a silver dime planchet, meaning it weighs around 2.5 grams. If you have a digital scale at home, this is the quickest way to check. Most 1965 pennies have that classic coppery color. But this error coin? It has a distinct silver or grayish tint because, well, it's made of silver. If you've got a penny that looks way too pale, don't spend it just yet. Take a regular penny and the one you suspect is special. Look at the edges. A normal penny has a smooth copper edge, but the silver penny will have a solid silver edge, just like a dime. Copper pennies aren't magnetic, but silver has a slight magnetic response. If your penny reacts to a strong magnet even a little bit, you might be holding history in your hands. All right, let me tell you a quick personal story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market rummaging through an old box of coins. This guy had a tin full of pennies labeled 10 cents each. Being the coin nerd I am, I started sifting through them, and boom, I found a 1943 steel penny just chilling in there like it was worthless. Bought it for a dime, got it graded, and turned around and sold it for $800. Now, I'm not saying you'll find a $3.1 million penny for 10 cents, but hey, crazier things have happened. First, always check your pocket change. That plain old penny could be worth enough to buy a mansion, a sports car, or a lifetime supply of cheeseburgers. Second, the key to spotting this rare 1965 no mint mark penny is weight, color, edge, and metal composition. And third, if you ever see a tin full of old coins at a flea market, buy it. Now, before you rush off to go dig through your couch cushions, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I've got tons more insider tips on coins worth serious money. If you love finding treasure in your spare change, this channel is your new best friend. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin before, and let me know what treasures you're hunting for next. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters and pocket change enthusiasts. Ever wondered if that humble penny jingling in your pocket could be your ticket to millionaire status? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the world of the 2000 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that, in pristine condition, has fetched jaw-dropping amounts at auctions. You're sifting through your couch cushions, hoping to find enough change for a coffee. Amidst the lint and forgotten candy wrappers, you spot a shiny 2000 Lincoln penny. Before you toss it into your coin jar, consider this: that tiny copper piece might just be worth more than your car. Intrigued? Let's unravel the mystery behind this potentially lucrative coin. In the year 2000, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 5.5 billion Lincoln pennies without any mint mark. At first glance, these coins seem as common as cat videos on the internet. However, not all pennies are created equal. While most of these coins are only worth their face value, certain pristine, uncirculated specimens have turned heads in the numismatic community. In fact, the creme de la creme of these pennies, a 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny graded MS69 RD by the Professional Coin Grading Service, sold for an astounding $3,220 in 2008. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The closer your penny is to that perfect 70, the higher its value. Think of it like grading on a curve, except here, perfection pays. On certain pennies, there's a noticeable gap between the letters A and M in America on the reverse side. This wide AM variety can fetch between $10 to $25, with top-grade specimens reaching up to $800. Double die obverse. Some coins exhibit slight doubling in the lettering or design, making them rare and valuable. Coins where the design is misaligned can be worth between $10 to $20, depending on the degree of the error. CoinValueChecker.com let me share a quick story. A few years back, my friend Jake, a fellow coin enthusiast, was rummaging through his late grandfather's coin collection. Amidst the old nickels and dimes, he found a 2000 Lincoln penny with a peculiar gap between the A and M on the reverse. After some research and a trip to a coin appraiser, Jake discovered he had a genuine wide AM variety. He later sold it for a cool $500. Not quite millionaire status, but not bad for a penny. So, next time you come across a 2000 Lincoln penny, take a moment to inspect it. While the odds of finding a multi-million-dollar coin are slim, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Who knows? That little copper disc might just be your lucky charm. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden treasures lurking in your pocket change, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more tips, stories, and strategies to uncover coins worth more than their weight in gold. Hey folks, imagine this. You're digging in your pocket for some loose change, maybe to grab a coffee, and you pull out a penny. Just a regular old Lincoln penny, right? Wrong. Because if it happens to be a 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny, you might as well be holding a golden ticket. One of these bad boys just sold for a jaw-dropping $3.3 million. Yeah, You heard that right. $3.3 million. Most people wouldn't even know if they had one. So today, we're breaking it all down. What makes this penny worth more than a mansion? How to check your own stash? And of course, the wild story behind it. Before you go emptying every coin jar in your house, make sure to stick around until the end because I've got some crucial tips that could help you find one of these valuable pennies. Let's dive in. Now, you might be wondering, what in the world makes a tiny 1-cent coin worth more than a Ferrari? Well, it all comes down to a rare minting error. The 1998 Lincoln penny normally has a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. But some pennies were struck without any mint mark at all, a mistake that turned a simple coin into a collector's dream. It's like when you accidentally text your boss instead of your friend, and suddenly you're explaining why you just sent, "Bring the good snacks." It's going to be a long one to your manager. Mistakes happen. Some just happen to be worth millions. These rare no-mint mark pennies were created when the mint forgot to stamp the identifying letter, and only a handful have ever been discovered. So, if you've got one, congratulations. You might just be richer than you thought. All right, now let's talk about how to check your pennies. You don't need fancy equipment, just a little patience and good lighting. If there's a tiny D or P down there, sorry, you're out of luck. But if there's nothing, no mint mark at all, you just might be sitting on a fortune. Like with all valuable coins, condition is key. If your penny looks like it's been through a washing machine 20 times, its value drops. But if it's crisp, clean, and shiny, we're talking serious money. Now, I'll be honest, the chances of finding one are super slim, but hey, people win the lottery every day. Why not you? Speaking of searching for rare coins, let me tell you about the time I thought I hit the jackpot. A few years back, I was going through some old jars of change at my grandma's house. She had coins from everywhere, pennies from the 1940s, buffalo nickels, even a couple of silver dimes. I was sure I'd find something valuable. And then boom, I spotted a 1998 penny with no mint mark. My heart started racing. I grabbed my magnifying glass like a detective on a case, double-checked it under the light, and started imagining my life as a millionaire. New house, new car, maybe even a vacation to one of those islands where the water is way too blue to be real. Then I flipped it over, and reality hit. It was actually a worn-down 1988 penny, and I had just wasted 15 minutes of my life getting excited over nothing. Moral of the story? Check carefully and don't get too excited too fast. But hey, it was a fun 15 minutes of dreaming. All right, back to the serious business. The most recent sale of a verified 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? $3.3 million. That's not just collector hype, that's a real sale. And even if yours isn't in mint condition, these pennies can still fetch thousands of dollars in lower grades. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar because these errors are so rare. So if you find one, get it authenticated, store it properly, and maybe even call a professional coin dealer. Who knows, your next coffee run could end with you being a millionaire. Simple. Check your pennies. That change in your pocket, your car, your couch cushions, it could be worth more than you ever imagined. And hey, even if you don't find a $3.3 million penny, learning about valuable coins is still a fun and potentially profitable hobby. Plus, now you've got a great excuse to dig through your old piggy banks. If you found this video helpful or just entertaining, make sure to subscribe for more tips on coins worth money, collecting strategies, and all the wild stories that come with it. The next time I make a video like this, I might be talking about you and the rare penny that changed your life. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to feed the vending machine, and bam, you pull out a penny that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, and a lifetime supply of snacks. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, sit tight, because today, we're talking about the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $3.4 million. Come on, it's just a penny. But let me tell you, there's nothing just about this one. This little copper beauty has collectors foaming at the mouth, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why and how to check if you've got one hiding in your pocket change. Before we dive in, let me share a quick story with you. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, rummaging through an old jar of coins, when I spotted a weird-looking penny. The seller shrugged and said, "Take it for a quarter." Now, being the coin nerd that I am, I grabbed it without hesitation. Fast forward a few months, I got it appraised, and it turned out to be worth over $500. Not bad for a 25-cent investment, right? That moment taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your change because you never know what hidden treasures are right under your nose. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this legendary 1991 penny.so. What's the big deal with this coin? It's all about the missing mint mark. Normally, in 1991, pennies were struck in three different locations: Philadelphia, which usually had no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. But this particular penny is a rare variety that should have had a mint mark but doesn't. Now, you might be wondering, wait, isn't a missing mint mark normal for some coins? Yes, but here's the kicker. This specific 1991 penny was supposed to have a D for Denver. The fact that it doesn't mean something went seriously wrong at the mint, and mistakes like that don't go unnoticed by collectors. There are a few theories about how this error came to be. Some experts believe a mint worker accidentally used a die meant for Philadelphia at the Denver Mint. Others think it was a rogue employee who intentionally left off the mint mark, maybe for kicks, maybe to create a rare coin. Who knows? Either way, it's one of the rarest modern errors out there, and that's why it's so valuable. All right, if you're running to grab your jar of pennies, here's what you need to look for. It's made of copper-plated zinc, just like all modern pennies weighs 2.5 grams. Same as a normal penny, the real key is getting it verified by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If you think you've found one, don't just start celebrating yet. Get it authenticated first. As of now, only one of these bad boys has been confirmed, which explains the mind-blowing price tag. If another one is found, it could still be worth millions, but the value might fluctuate based on how many more are discovered. Coin collectors love rarity, and this one is as rare as they come. The fact that only one has been officially documented makes it a holy grail for numismatists. Plus, demand drives up the price. If a billionaire collector wants it, they'll pay whatever it takes to own the only known specimen. Think of it like a rare baseball card. If there's only one in existence, you better believe it's going to sell for a fortune. Now, I know you're itching to dig through your penny jar, and honestly, you should. But here are a few tips to maximize your chances of striking gold. Well, copper in this case. Check your pocket change. You never know when a rare penny might pop up. Look through old coin rolls from the bank. Bank-wrapped rolls often contain hidden gems. Search estate sales and flea markets. Sometimes people unknowingly sell rare coins for pennies on the dollar. Literally. Join online coin forums. Collectors sometimes trade or sell rare finds, and you might spot one before the price skyrockets even further. If you believe you found the legendary 1991 no mint mark penny, follow these steps. Handle it carefully. Use gloves or hold it by the edges to avoid adding fingerprints. Compare it to regular 1991 pennies. Make sure the missing mint mark isn't just worn off. Get it graded. Send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. If it's real, they'll slab it and certify its value. Decide whether to sell or hold. If you're in need of cash, you could auction it for a fortune. But if you hold on to it, the value might go even higher over time. All right, my fellow coin enthusiasts, that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire. Who would have thought a little 1-cent coin could be worth more than a Lamborghini? Go check your pennies. Dig through those couch cushions, search through those piggy banks, and raid that old coin jar in the attic. Because who knows? You might be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. And if you love learning about rare coins, valuable finds, and how to make money from coin collecting, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more hidden treasure stories coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss them.